Philadelphia's Classic Rock 102.9 MGK. Boy, imagine touring and getting the stories from Van Halen. Man, oh man, if those walls could talk. That is Dance the Night Away from Van Halen 2. I'm Andre Gardner, and we are live at the Classic Rock Art Show with a lovely crowd here assembled this afternoon. Having a lovely time at the King of Prussia Plaza. We're actually in the plaza right where you enter Rite Aid. You can't miss it. We have incredible artwork on display. Just about every band that we play is represented. I was talking about Van Halen. Here's a guy who might share a couple of Van Halen stories if we nudge him enough. A New Jersey guy, right? Mark Weiss, great photographer. Let's have a hand for Mark Weiss. Thanks for coming, bro.
How you doing?
So you're a major photographer in that the bands actually hire you to take pictures of them on the road. You pass through the press credentials. You don't have to worry about that stuff, right?
Not anymore, but you know, I used to have to sneak in into the concerts. Used to sneak all my stuff down the, my fry boots and baggy sweatshirts, and
And that was your entree into seeing some pretty incredible shows. What was the first memorable show you can remember photographing?
Probably Led Zeppelin in '77.
Oh, you were at that show. Must have been
There was
amazing.
like 5 of them, so I went the first night. I snuck in, got all my stuff in, and then I sold them for $1 a piece for like the rest of the week. It's fun.
And thus your professional career was born.
It was.
And you do a lot of work with Bon Jovi now, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You took the cover of Slippery When Wet, the released and unreleased version.
Yep. And then before that, it was gonna be called Wanted, and they all we dressed them up like cowboys, and they grew the beards and the hats, and like Jesse James, and that was the first cover. So I did that, and then there was another one with the bar of soap called Slippery When Wet, and we wrote it down with a hand model. So there was like 5 different versions.
Until the record company took the most tame, probably, right?
Well, they did the girl with the boobs, and then the PMRC was cracking down on everything, and they wanted all their, in Walmart, they wanted everything in there. So they were like, all right, what are we gonna do? So John just came up and said, get me a black hefty bag and spray bottle, and he just wrote Slippery When Wet, and next thing you know it
was in 10 million homes before you knew it. Now, Mark's work is here represented at the Classic Rock Art Show, a lot of different pieces of a pretty incredible career, and you also worked with Ozzy and with Bruce Springsteen. Tell me a little bit about what working with Bruce Springsteen is all about. What did you do for him?
Bruce, I used to just shoot him live, really. One time I remember John had a birthday party, and his kids were there, and my kids were there, and we're all playing around. The next night, he was at the Grammys, like all slicked back. I'm like, man, he was just like a regular guy. The next day, he was like this huge rock star.
Is there a picture you've taken that you're most proud of? Can you really narrow it down to one?
Well, the one that's on display here, that's actually for sale. It was at the Spectrum, and it's just a moment, like with Steven and Gary Tallon and the big man and Bruce. Like it's just like they were like messing around with the microphone stand, and next thing you know it, I just grabbed a few moments, and it's one of my favorites.
It's a beautiful picture, Mark.
Thank you, thank you.
Mark Weiss is here hanging out. You want to ask him some questions about his incredible work? Feel free. We're hanging out, broadcasting live till 7 o'clock here at the MGK Classic Rock Art Show. The music continues next. We've got the Beatle break coming up in a bit. Woo! And not to mention CSNY and the 3 for 3 next.
When you can't eat, my husband Joe